Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm starting a new series on the sun in the composite chart. So the composite chart is the chart of the relationship itself. So it's different than the synastry, the chart comparison between the two people. It's a separate chart that shows the energy of the relationship itself as if it had its own natal chart, okay? So it's the combined energy that you become together. And it shows a lot about the purpose of the relationship and the more long term aspect of the relationship and what you become together. So, this placement that I'm going to talk about today is the sun in the first house in the composite chart. So, wherever the sun falls in the composite chart and the aspects that it makes show the main thrust of the relationship itself, the main energy that you two come together and create. It's probably the most important part of the composite chart, and a strongly placed sun will do a lot to overcome difficulties in the relationship that may be shown by other factors. So the sun in the first house in the composite chart is considered a very strong position because it's an angular position, and the first house represents our sense of self, our identity, and physical body appearance. In the composite chart, it shows a lot about the identity of the relationship. So the sun here shows that we are a power couple. The first house in the composite chart too can also show how we appear to others and to the outside world. So a couple with this position comes off strongly and has a powerful presence in the public eye as well. Other people feel the strength of your unit. But where does that come from? So it comes from the fact that with this position of the sun, we're usually going to see two people whose identities and life goals and mission and confidence actually blend well together. And unless there's really difficult aspects to the sun here, which would then show that this is an extremely difficult relationship because the sun is so prominently placed here in the first house. But usually with this one, the people are similar enough that they combine well to make a very strong couple where the relationship has a great significance on your life, okay? When we are a couple with the sun in the first house, the relationship can alter your identity and be one of those relationships that you look back on as, life altering, significant, powerful, meaningful, okay? So, not to say that every single relationship where you have the sun in the first house in the composite chart is going to be that, but if it does have other links that show longevity, this one can show that the relationship is definitely a powerful force on your life. And also, as a couple, you can be a powerful force on other people's lives. So, you definitely have presence, and you can even come off a bit too strong sometimes as a couple. So, what does Robert Hand say about this? Or I think the books that talk about composite charts say that one of the dangers of this position is that you can become too insular because you really give each other a lot of energy and a boost that you can almost become so addicted to the relationship itself that you close off to the outside world and you don't, care about your other interests anymore, your other friends, or your other life. It's like your whole life becomes about the relationship. And you can see that sometimes in people that are maybe codependent, that have a super strong first house emphasis in the composite chart, where the relationship becomes their source of everything. Like it can be addicting to have such a powerful placement of the sun. Now, usually it's just going to really give you that feeling of like, this is it. And you found the one. And the relationship itself and the feeling that you have together is the purpose of the relationship. It's not, you know, other things. It's actually just you enjoy being together. You're similar. You have similar ideas about life, and the relationship definitely has a huge weight on your life, like I've said. So it's a super strong position. Interestingly enough, in all of my serious relationships, I have had this placement of the sun. And I don't know, I have my natal sun, but it's technically in my first house, but in my second house, because usually you move it over when it's like within a degree of the second, or it might even be within a minute or something of the second. But I don't know if somehow the way that I blend with significant relationship partners shows that we always have the composite sun in first. So it, yeah, definitely can show that this is a long-term relationship because of its power. And the sun, yeah, it shows the basic life force of the relationship itself. And when it's prominent like this, the relationship, if it does have enough going for it, it definitely works as far as both of your lives. And you can actually be a more confident person, a more secure person, a more outgoing person, maybe even too much so, depending on the personalities, in the couple than not in the couple. So you're going to get a huge boost from this one. And it's definitely favorable, and it can show that you light up each other's lives in such a strong way that it's just unforgettable, you know, and it changes you. It changes your life. It changes your confidence. And hopefully if there's good aspects to the sun here, for better, not for worse. And yeah, like I said, if it is a difficult relationship, like the negative aspects or the difficult aspects carry even so much more weight when the sun is in the first house. So it's powerful for better or for worse. And yeah, it does seem to be pretty common in long-term couples because, yeah, there's just a lot of emphasis on our identities and getting along well together. So yeah, it's a good placement to have in the composite chart. I'm going to go through all of them in this series because, yeah, the sun, this is the major theme of the relationship itself. So the composite sun and the house that it's in shows what the relationship is really made of. Like, it's like the meat of the relationship. So when it's first house, it's all about identity. It's all about your egos aligning in such a strong way that you just really, you feel like more of yourself together. And yeah, this one can definitely show that you're stronger as a couple than apart. And so that can be super addictive and also really good for both of your individual confidence and purpose in life as well. You can feel like the relationship helps you in a lot of ways, and it helps you be more outgoing, right? Like I said. So yeah, definitely really strong placement. This is the kind of couple that likes to show that they're a couple. So sometimes with like sun in the 12th house in the composite, we can see that this is a secret relationship. But this one, it's not so much. It's quite obvious we're a couple, and usually with this overlay, we want to be publicly known as a couple. If there's other good aspects and some Saturn, you know, this one is not the hidden couple. It's the couple that is out there. Maybe they're out there on social media sharing their love in a big dramatic way. That is a possibility when we have this overlay, if other things are good. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience of this one. Was it like this? Was it not like this? Let me know below. And yeah, going to start this new series on sun through the composite houses, because the composite chart, it just shows so much about the relationship's purpose and identity, and it's just a big piece to where it's going and the relationship itself. So I'm excited to talk more about it in this series. Okay, thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.